What's up, guys? Welcome back to the infamous project, to part 3 of Project Burnt Vert. So if you haven't checked out the first 2 episodes on this car, make sure you do. And this is all about trying to potentially save this burnt up Foxbody from, well, being nothing more than a parts car in the end, which should be pretty unfortunate. As you can see, this car would have been a survivor had the fire not happened. All its original paint, everything is straight, no rust, no nothing, just a really unfortunate fire that took the life of this car. So my goal is to get this thing cleaned up enough so that the inspector from our Ministry of Transportation up here in Ontario, Canada, can reverse the irreparable title on it and get it down just to a branded state, so that way it can be rebuilt and put back on the road. Now, if it doesn't get the reversal, then it's going to be pretty unfortunate for this car, unfortunately, but we don't want to start thinking about the worst case scenario just yet. So first 2 episodes, we've been cleaning stuff up and cleaning. We did manage to get the car to fire up on the first episode, and I want to make sure that it's in a state where it can fire up again. So today I am going to get this top frame assembly out of here and just making room and getting rid of this melted debris of convertible top frame. You can see some of all this casting is all melted up here pretty good. So we're gonna get that out. It has rained here the past couple days, and it's actually kind of a good thing in this case because it's just keeping all the dust down. So I'm gonna be able to get all of this debris out of the convertible top / trunk area. So we're gonna get that cleaned up, and unfortunately can't get the trunk lid open, so whatever's melted won't allow us to get in there. So I'm hoping that once all the debris is cleaned up, I'll be able to get at the main latch mechanism and undo those 2 bolts that hold that. That should allow the whole trunk lid to lift open. It is a hot and humid day here today, so it isn't the most favorable work conditions, but whatever, I want to get this thing done. Once that's cleaned up, I want to address the fuel leak that's somewhere in the back here, whether it's from the fuel filter area or right off of the fuel tank, one of the main lines. Going to find out what's going on there, and then I'm going to jam another steering column that I have in the car so that the car can steer, and so that we have the ability to get our ignition and everything else on. So that's it in terms of what we're going to be doing for today. Going to get to it now and start cleaning this up, and I'm going to see if I can get some of this convertible windshield trim off, and get what's left of the windshield cleaned up as well. Really don't need all of this broken glass sitting around. Look at this, guys. Top side melted, underside convertible top boot cover, trunk carpet. All right, guys, so that actually wasn't too bad. Like I said, found the old convertible top boot cover, what's left of it, spare tire well. You can see the spare tire down in there and the cover for it. Only some of it got burnt. The rest of it, the trunk carpeting, actually saved. Found the tire iron, and you know, we got a lot of burnt wiring that controls all of our convertible top and everything else. So I'm gonna go ahead, cut this bad wiring out. Mostly got burnt down here. So yeah, here you can see the main harness, everything to the trunk is pretty much burnt, but that's not a hard harness to change because all of our wiring is good right up into behind the rear plastic here. So I'm going to go ahead, cut some wiring out. I'm going to get some tools so we can get the convertible top frame assembly out, and hopefully we can get inside this trunk. So a lot of you guys asked me, how do you get the convertible top frames out? Can you swap them out? So any convertible top frame can be swapped into one Foxbody to another. The differences are very slight. If you do have a 91 through 93, your top frame does go down 6 inches lower. Could be a little less, maybe 4 to 6 inches. Looks better in my opinion. So my Stalker Convertible, the frame has been swapped for a new one because that's an 87 car. It's got a 93 top frame, and there's a few other little differences. The cables and the tops themselves, which again are really just an aesthetic difference, but to the average person you cannot tell the difference. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead here, take the key bolts out that hold all this guy in, which is essentially these guys here and down here, which holds on the hydraulic cylinder, the hydraulic arm. And there are some other bolts that are holding on material along the back and stuff, but I think those have all melted off, so we're gonna see. There you go, guys. One convertible top frame, burnt convertible top frame out of this car. All right, guys, can you see those two bolts right there? If we can get those out, we can get this trunk open. Whew. So for that dust. Holy. There we go. All right, so you can see it got pretty hot in here. Weather stripping somewhat intact. Seam sealer. Leave this over here. Check out our spare tire wall here. Look at that. Cargo cover. It's actually in good shape. Gonna hold on to that. And we got some water, everything else. So got some pretty good accessibility here. I'm gonna cut some of this wiring out. I already cut the harness back here, but this whole harness is bad. So everything up to this trunk lid, that needs to go ultimately. So that took actually a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we got everything pretty much cleaned up and vacuumed out. The plastic knob to unscrew the jack off the spare tire. I'm gonna have to get a set of pliers or a wrench on there and get that up, but everything cleaned up pretty well around it. Got all the ashes and the coals and everything else out of here, and this thing's gonna need a good pressure washing on the inside, but that's pretty much it. It's pretty clean. Got most of the windshield or what was left of the windshield out. The bottom half is still here. I wasn't trying to get the knife in there. It just seemed too dangerous and I'd probably end up with a lacerated wrist. So gonna let the glass guy do that one, but at least, you know, all the way around the frame and everything else is done and out of the way. So you can see I have another column and wheel sitting on the ground here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that installed. Again, it's not gonna be like a permanent fixture. It's just that we can actually turn the car, get the ignition wiring plugged in, and the last thing to do is just going to be able to find out what that fuel leak is in the back, and then this thing should be in a position to pretty much run and drive. Yes. All right, guys, day 2 here. I ran out of time yesterday. Cleaning out the trunk and everything of this car just took so much time that I didn't get a chance to address the fuel. So we're here today, got the column in, turned the key forward, the relay's kicking on. Now the one thing is I did cut the whole wiring harness that was coming into the trunk area just because there was too much stuff that was melted and I didn't want the potential to short anything else out, especially when you're running 12 volts to your pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tap right into the fuel pump harness here. The hot wire for the pump is this pink with black. So I'm going to open this up, and not overly concerned about, you know, the look and the ultimate feel because this harness will get replaced regardless. So I'm just going to run a wire directly from this down to the fuel pump relay, and we're going to make sure that the pump's turning on, and then get an idea where that leak was coming from. All right, so splice into this guy. All right, I can hear the fuel. There's our leak. All right, guys, got a bunch of tools here. So first things first, I'm going to try and see if I can get this. Oh, I can see the crack in the line. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Can actually see the split right there where the line was cracked. So I've removed that with the hose that goes around it, which was split in here. And I'm just going to put a piece of high pressure hose on for now with some hose clamps, since both fittings up here are in fact barbed. So should be able to get them tight enough for the sake of starting up the car. Okay, then the line back up to approximately where it was. Make sure the line's not kinked. All right, so now I'll tap the pump, give it 12 volts. We'll see if we have any leaks. All right, no leaks. Perfect. 12 volts. So now, just because I don't remember, and I think it's the green, which one gets the power with the key forward. Yep, it's the green. So what we'll do here, stuff the green in. Just want to double check the wiring. I actually had this guy off, so let's see now with the clutch pedal depressed if this thing will actually turn over. Super quiet.
Runs good though.
Purrs like a kitten.
Yeah. Man, you gotta put seats in this and take it for. Seriously, you gotta do it.
I have a couple on the
That's what
shed.
I mean, put some seats in it and take it for, even if you put 2 bolts in them.
All right. Ended up going with the gray tweed. It was just easier to get at these seats. Had to have them matching.
That was a burnout, Dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear it?
No. Oh. Man, the seat isn't even in the floor. This thing's so quiet.
So there we have it, guys. 1991 Project Burnt Vert, running and driving. We just need the inspector to come now and check it out and see if we can save this car and put it back together. So fingers crossed. Not sure when we're finally going to hear from the inspector, but I'll be sure to keep you guys updated and in the know. So until then, thank you again for following along. Thank you for subscribing, and check out some of my other projects and builds. We'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, little postlude to the video here. And I just grabbed a cluster. I'm going to try plugging it in and see if we don't get some readings. It actually does look like we're charging. Good oil pressure, gas gauge reads, temperature gauge reads. All is good.